कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन बल्लभ जय गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन बल्लभ यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरा यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद की जय भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13. रक्तुंड आसीत् शुभैः सनाशयो विदोदरे तमसा कर्णरन्ध्रे प्राशित्रमास्येत् ग्रसने ग्रास्तु ते यत्सर्वणं ते भगवन् अग्निहोत्रम् Raktundasit Shubhaisanasayo Ridodare Tamasa Karnarandre Prasitramaste Pragasanigrahastute Yattarvanam te Bhagavan Agnihotram Asit Shubhaisanasayo Tamasa Karnarandre Prasitramaste Pragasanigrahastute Yattarvanam te Bhagavan Agnihotram Raktundasit Shubhaisanasayo Ridodare Tamasa Karnarandre Prasitramaste Grasanigrahastute Yattarvanam te Bhagavan Agnihotram Yattarvasit Shubhaisanasayo Ridodare Tamasa Karnarandre Prasitramaste Grasanigrahastute Yattarvanam te Bhagavan Agnihotram Chandrodare Tamasa Karnarandre Namaste Grasanigrahastute Yattarvanam te Bhagavan Agnihotram. Word by word translation and proposed by Divine Grace of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada teacher. The plate for sacrifice. Tunde on the tongue. Asit there is. Dhruva another plate for sacrifice. Isa, O Lord. Nasayo of the nostril. Ida the plate for eating. Udare in the heart, in the belly. Tamasa another plate for sacrifice. Karnarandre in the holes of the ears. Prasitram the plate called the Brahma plate. Ase in the mouth. Grasane in the throat. Graha the plate known as Soma plate. To birth. Te pure. Yat that with. Sarvanam giving. Te yours. Bhagavan, O my Lord, Agnihotram is your eating through your sacrificial fire. Translation, O Lord, your tongue is a plate of sacrifice. Your nostril is another plate of sacrifice. In your belly is the eating plate. of sacrifice. And another plate of sacrifice is the holes of your ears. In your mouth is the Brahma, plate of sacrifice. Your throat is the plate of sacrifice known as soma. And whatever you chew is known as Agnihotra. O Lord, your tongue is a plate of sacrifice. Your nostril is another plate of sacrifice. In your belly is the eating plate of sacrifice. And another plate of sacrifice is the holes of your ears. In your mouth is the Brahma, plate of sacrifice. Your throat is the plate of sacrifice known as Soma. And whatever you chew is known as Agnihotra. So this was describes the Lord's body. The spirit headed by Brahma is praying to the Lord Varaha incarnation. So everything the Lord has is a plate of sacrifice. Tongue is a plate of sacrifice. Nostril is also a plate of sacrifice. Belly is eating plate of sacrifice. And holes of the ears are another plate of sacrifice. Mouth is Brahma plate of sacrifice. Throat is Soma plate of sacrifice. And everything God, the Lord choose is not with Agnihotra. Suppose the Vedavadis say that there is nothing more than the Vedas and the performance of sacrifice mentioned in the Vedas. They have recently made a rule in their group to formally observe daily sacrifice. They simply ignite a small fire and offer something whimsically, but they do not strictly follow the sacrificial rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedas. The Vedavadi people, they don't follow the Vedas strictly. They make a small fire sacrifice and they offer things whimsically. So God says, they don't follow the sacrificial rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedas strictly. It is understood that by regulation there are different plates of sacrifice required, such as Strik, Dhruva, Barhi, Chaturhotra, Ida, Tamasa, Prasitra, Graha, and Agnihotra. These are different sacrifices, different fire of sacrifices. These are the fires, plates of sacrifice, plates of sacrifice. One cannot achieve the result of sacrifice unless one observes the strict rules, strict regulations. The rules have to be followed very strictly, otherwise sacrifice cannot be done. In this age, there is practically no facility for performing sacrifices in strict discipline. Things are not performing the sacrifice are not cannot be performed strictly in this day and age. Therefore, in this age of Kali, there is a strict regarding such sacrifice. It is explicitly directed that one should perform Sankirtan Yajna and nothing else. Yajna Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sume Rasa Krishna Bhana Pitya Krishna Sangapangas Upasadam Yajna Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sume Rasa. And age, intelligent people worship the Lord by performing of Sankirtan sacrifice. So, strictly following the Sankirtan Yajna is what is recommended. Other than that, if you perform other sacrifices, then things are not clean and you cannot strictly follow it. Things will not be clear. One should perform Sankirtan sacrifice. Sankirtan is nothing else. The incarnation of the Supreme Lord is Yajnaswara, and unless one has respect for the incarnation of the Lord, he cannot possibly perform sacrifice. The Supreme Lord is Yajnaswara, the enjoyer of sacrifices. Yajna Iswara, the Lord of sacrifice. And unless one has respect for the incarnation of the Lord, then he cannot perform sacrifice. The Vedavadis has no respect for the Lord, but they perform some sacrifice without the Lord strictly following and trying to please the Lord. Their sacrifice are not accepted. The incarnation of the Supreme Lord is against one, and unless he has respect for the incarnation of the Lord, he cannot perform sacrifice. In other words, taking shelter of the Lord and rendering service unto him is the actual performance of all sacrifices, as explained herein. How we perform? Taking shelter of the Lord and then performing the sacrifice, rendering service unto him is the actual sacrifice. Taking the complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then whatever service one can perform with his mind, body, and intelligence, if he does it, then that is a proper sacrifice. Otherwise, without the Lord or having complete faith in the Lord, if you perform the sacrifice just because you have read Vedas, it is not going to please the Lord. Different plates of sacrifice correspond to the different parts of the body of the Lord's incarnation. So different plates of sacrifice that we just read like Strak, Dhruva, Bahit, Chaturhotra, Ida, Ramasa, Vasita, Graha, and Agnihotra. These are various different kind of sacrifices, and these different plates of sacrifice are different parts of the body of the Lord incarnation. Whenever Lord incarnates, different parts of his body are these different sacrifices. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, it is explicitly directed that one should perform Sankirtan Yajna to please the Lord's incarnation as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in this day and age, the only Yajna that is directly explained and is to be performed is Sankirtan Mahayajna. And that pleases the incarnation of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the direct expansion of the Supreme Lord. So day of Kali Yuga. 10,000 years is the golden age, and this 10,000 years is going to be Sankirtan Yajna started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If the Sankirtan of the age, you will be only performing mainly Sankirtan Yajna. That's how the birth is explained in 11th canto. So that's what we're supposed to do. We follow in order to achieve the result of Yajna performance. So if we want to achieve the result of the Yajna, then we have to follow the Sankirtan Yajna of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then only the actual result of the Yajna will achieve. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time to perform any other yajna, which will not give proper result because the ingredients are not clean. So various bodily limbs of the Lord, that's Shirada Bhajya, the Supreme Lord God is mentioned in this verse. He is the Yajna personified. That's why his bodily limbs are also all Yajna personified. Nostril is plate of sacrifice, belly is plate of sacrifice. This way, all the limbs of the body of the Supreme Lord will be all sacrificed. So the Lord himself is the sacrifice personified. So in the days of Kali Yuga, right now, present time, this sort of sacrifice are not possible, but we can talk in Sankirtan Mahayagya, and we will be achieve the result of all sacrifices if we perform it with all seriousness. It is recommended that we take the incarnation to do it called Yuga. Chaitanya Vivekananda, the permission. Lord Nityananda Appearance Day, the supreme mercy of the true Lord. In Vedanta Sutra, there is a famous Anandamayo Vyasa. This sloka explains the constitutional position of every living being. Everyone is looking for pleasure. The soul and its natural condition is Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, full of ecstasy. Therefore, the heart of every living being is constantly seeking beauty, charm, and ecstasy. Therefore, the Lord descends into this world to distribute prema bhakti, divine love, because which our nourishes the heart and fulfill all its desires. When the Lord appears in the soul, he appears by his causeless mercy. Mercy is such a nature when the Lord descends that it is not subjected to any material laws, any laws of logic or any laws of reasoning. In fact, the mercy of the Lord is available to anyone in any position of life who will simply accept it. It is described by Srila Rupa Goswami. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्व से नमः चैतन्य चैतन्य मत लीला 1950 Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most munificent, merciful, and of, magnanimous of all the incarnations. Because without considering who is fit or who is unfit, he is distributing the mercy of the Lord freely to everyone. Simply chant the name of Krishna, follow the simple principles of devotion, and your life will be fulfilled with divine love. And the ecstasy, the charm, the beauty that your heart is always seeking will be realized forever, eventually, eternally. But unfortunately, even the Supreme Lord Himself appears, many will not accept it. Therefore, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Lord Nityananda and Nityananda Prabhu to approach those persons who will not accept love of God. Love of God. Those persons who are too much attached to fallen sinful activities, those who are too attached to piety in material life, those who are too much attached to mental speculation and so-called religiosity. Thus, due to pride, will not accept the love of Krishna, even from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Instructed Lord Nityananda that these people they are yours. So Lord Nityananda is the very essence of mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is described by Narottama Das Thakur. Rajendra Nandana Jai Sati Suta Hailo Sei Balarama Hailo Nitai. That the beautiful divine son of Sri Nanda Maharaja, Lord Gopala, he has appeared in the age of Kali Yuga in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Balaramji, his eternal associate, his elder brother, and his constant companion in Brajadhama, has appeared as Lord Nityananda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to Lord Nityananda that appeal to Lord Nityananda that you go and without any discrimination that who is fit or unfit, you somehow or other get everyone to accept the mercy of the holy name. And although he is the Supreme God himself, he is appearing in the position of the devotee. In fact, in Goloka Vrindavana, we must understand that Balarama, although he is Krishna himself, he is the Supreme Bhagavan. He eternally appears as the servant of Krishna. In the form of Sankarsana Anantasesa, he is Narayana's bed, his shoes, his umbrella. He is constantly simply trying to increase the pleasure of Lord Nityananda, Lord Narayana. Similarly, in the form of Lakshmana during Ramalila, Lakshmana's only business was to give pleasure to Sri Rama. When they went into the Jarikhanda forest, Lakshmana would not eat, he would not sleep. His only business was to protect Sri Rama. He was the supreme most elevated servant of Lord Rama, and similarly that same Lakshmana, that same Balarama has appeared as Sri Nityananda Prabhu. His life, soul and everything is the pleasure of Sri Gaurasundara. He has no other ambition, no other mode of life mode of in life. Therefore, Lord Nityananda is described, declared by all the Acharya to be the original spiritual master, because he is the first expansion of Godhead and appears exclusively for the pleasure of Godhead. Although he is Krishna, he could easily this, accept this same position, but he would never accept that position sometimes Sometimes that Balaram, people that Balarama, he also had his Rasa Lila. He was also supreme enjoyer. But Balarama never engaged in the Rasa Lila for his enjoyment. He simply came to the Vrindavan to specify the gopis in the service of Krishna. Everything Balaram did, everything Lakshmana did, everything Anantasesa does is only exclusively for life and soul to satisfy and to increase the enjoyment of Krishna, Rama, and the Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda, the epitome of compassion. No, epitome, like a statue. So Lord Nityananda, he was in the sublime mood. Although he was the supreme personality of Godhead, he took the most humble position in order to satisfy Lord Gaura Sundara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Pavana Avatara. That means he came specifically to claim the most fallen and sinful of all living beings. And there is nothing that satisfies Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu more than distributing love of God to another. Therefore, Lord Nityananda, he would go on both banks of the Ganges and he would approach every house, in every town and in every village. Anybody individually with folded arms come to the most fallen sinful people of the Kali Yuga and plead with them, take with me, take with them of Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching to chant the name of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya told Lord Nityananda, you go out and spread the glories of the chanting of the name of Krishna. But Lord Nityananda, he had the full realization, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna and Anya, that Radha and Krishna have both combined of singular form of Sri Gaura Sundara Prabhu. Therefore, Lord Nityananda, he understood that Lord Chaitanya is so merciful. You cannot commit an offense to him as he is so merciful. Therefore, let me convince everyone to worship Gaura Sundara, to chant the name of Gaura. Whoever is doing like this, that person is my life and the soul, and if they worship Sri Gaura Sundara Mahaprabhu, then they will automatically attain the love of Krishna. Automatically they will attain Vrindavan Dham. So Lord Nityananda, wherever he would go, he would sing the song Bhaj Gauranga, Kaho Gauranga, Love Gaurangera Naam Re, Jejana Gauranga Bhaje, Hoy Mori Prana Re. Worship Gauranga, chant the name of Gauranga, take the mercy of Gauranga. Anyone who worships Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that person is my life and soul. So he would plead in this way wherever he would go, and if someone was so hard-hearted that even when the embodiment of divine love and compassion, he was begging, take the name of Gauranga, take the name of Krishna. If they still you would refuse, then the supreme Godhead in the form of Nityananda would get on his hand and knees. He would beg, please, I beg you to do not reject me. Do not spoil your human life. Take the name of Gauranga. Worship Gauranga. If they still refuse, you lay it for straight in the ground, rolling in the dust, touching their feet, pleading with them with tears in his eyes. Do not spoil your human life. I beg you, I plead with you, I will do anything. I will eternally be your servant, but chant the holy name. In this way, there was no incarnation of God who has ever manifested such mercy. Lord Sri Krishna to the wicked demons, he cut off their head with his Sudarsana Chakra. That was his mercy. In this way, they attained mukti. Lord Sri Rama, with his sharpened bows and arrows, he would severe, severely beam the head, he pierced the heart of the Asuras. In this way, they attain mukti. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will, with his shastra, with the weapon of holy name, he would give pure love of God for anyone. Shastra. Lord Chaitanya, in this way, they attain mukti. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with his astra, with the weapon of holy name, he would give pure love of God to anyone who would accept it. But Lord Nityananda would not accept no pronouncer. God Himself is at your feet, begging you, rolling in the dust with tears in His eyes, waiting in anxious to be your eternal servant if you simply take the name of Krishna, simply take the name of Gauranga. Therefore, in Lord Nityananda we find the ultimate expressions of the supreme mercy of God. Lord Nityananda, he was converting millions and millions of people wherever he went. He would go to towns, to cities, to villages, and he would transform the entire atmosphere where everyone was joyfully chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and dancing in sublime ecstasy. Lord Nityananda, it is described he had this complete dedication to fulfill the heart desire, Lord Chaitanya, that all living beings accept the holy name. It is described that one time Mother Sati Devi, she had a dream. Sati Devi was the mother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in this dream she was worshipping Krishna and Balarama on her altar. And at that time Lord Nityananda came and he told Balarama that you must get off the altar. This altar is not now for Lord Chaitanya. Krishna has appearing in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are outdated now. In Dwapara Yuga, you want Krishna with good friends playing together, but in Kali Yuga you are his servant. Balarama said, "No, no, I am here with Krishna." Nityananda said, "No, no, you come down, you become the servant." They had an argument. They began to fight. Nityananda and Balarama were pulling at each other, but Nityananda was more powerful and he pulled Balarama down. Of course, Nityananda is Balarama, but in this dream, Mother Sati Devi could understand that in Kali Yuga, Balarama appears simply as the order carrier of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is described Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally in order to distribute love of God and gain the responsibility for his mission. He left his family life and took sannyasi. And by taking sannyasi, he had to be very strict to follow principles of social eti- etiquette because the people criticize a sannyasi, then mission is destroyed. So therefore, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was basically preaching to get scholars like Sarvabhauma, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakasananda Saraswati. He was preaching from place to place, town to town, village to village. But in Kali Yuga, there is so many conditions of life that Lord Chaitanya, due to being a sannyasi, they are too degraded for him to enter into. To really meet with attached family members in a Griha Medhi ashram, he could not do that. into the bars, the brothels, the house of prostitution, and the place of meat eaters. The sannyasi cannot do that, especially in those days. People looked upon sannyasi with very strict eyes. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although Lord Nityananda was basically a mendicant, Lord Chaitanya told Lord Nityananda to marry. Why? Because then no one will criticize you. You can go to the most fallen, you can go everywhere and anywhere, and you can preach. So Lord Nityananda began to travel, and he made his base in Bengal at the home of Suryadasa Pandit, who happened to be the brother of Gauridasa Pandit, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and the Lord Nityananda. There Suryadas Pandit gave as gift Lord Nityananda. There Suryadas Pandit gave as gift Lord Nityananda his two daughters, Janab, Janava Devi and Visuddhi. Lord Nityananda was known as uh, Avaduta, which means he could go anywhere and everywhere to spread the mercy of Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally would say about Lord Nityananda that if Lord Nityananda goes into a liquor house, if he goes into a house of prostitution, if he is seen with low class, undesirable company, never criticize him or you go to hell because you can know he's only there to show his causeless mercy to the most fallen. In Kali Yuga, we are all candidates of Lord Nityananda's mercy because we are all most fallen. If you do not think you are most fallen, then you are really most fallen. Today is the appearance day of Lord Nityananda. We should understand his divine nature before attempting to understand his divine lila. He is the supreme Godhead who appears to distribute the mercy of love of God. It is described that he appeared in the holy city of Ekachakra. Ekachakra is a district of Radha Desa. It is a place where he was not very well known for being a religious place. Generally, the religious places in India in those days were situated in the bank of holy river like Ganges and Yamuna. And further you went from those holy rivers, generally the place would become more and more degraded. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared in the holy land of Navadvip in the bank of Ganga, but he sent his eternal associate to the places of wretches, Yavanas, and low-class men to take birth among them. Birth and childhood of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda was born in a Brahmana family in Ekachakra. His father's name was Adaya Pandit and his mother's name was Padmavati. He was one of the most wonderful child. He had such beautiful and charming teacher in every respect. In his childhood, he knew no other pleasure but but the acting the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would gather his friends together, and throughout the entire day, they would simply put on places, being acting the pastimes of the Lord. One of his friends would pretend to be Bhumi, Mother Earth, in the form of a cow. Another friend would pretend to be Lord Brahma, and he would plead with Lord Brahma, please, and the demons in the form of kings are causing me great difficulties, and they would approach the ocean of milk, and another friend would take the form of Lord Vishnu, and he would say, all you demigods, you all take birth in the Yadu and dynasty, and I would soon appear as Lord Krishna. Sometimes with friends they would pretend to be Devaki and Vasudeva to give birth to Krishna. Sometimes one friend would play Putana and another friend would jump on him and suck his breast and kill him. Sometimes his friends would play Agasura, Keshi, Dhanukasura, In this way, they would act all these transcendental pastimes, and everyone was struck with wonder, with one thunder. How do they know these pastimes? They never heard them. They have never studied them. They are just little children. Lord Nityananda was very fond of organizing these beautiful dramas all day long, and sometimes they would go and take cows, and all day long they would just herd the cows and dance with their sticks and play flutes and pretend to be Krishna and Balarama and the cow boys. And then they would come home, they would break into the entire neighbor's house and steal the butter and steal the yogurt. People were struck with wonder. Nobody minded if everyone is full of affection. Everyone simply wanted to hold Nityananda in their hands. His body was soft like the butter. They just wanted to embrace him and love him and show their affection to him. One time he was playing the role as a small child of Lakshmana, and another child was taking the part of Ravana. And Lakshmana challenged Ravana, and then Ravana took that great empowered Shakti Astra and threw it at Lakshmana. Of course, what they are using again for the powerful weapon of Ravana was the lotus flower. So he threw this beautiful soft lotus flower and hit Lord Nityananda in the chest, and Lord Nityananda, playing Lakshmana, fell to the ground and went completely unconscious. There was not any sign of life in the body, and all his friends gathered around and they talked, my God, he has no life, he is dead. And they all began to cry. They did not know what to do. And then Lord Nityananda's parents came, Padmavati and her Adai Pandit. They were gathered around and they were crying, what we supposed to do. There is no life in this body. They were doing everything they could to try to revitalize his life, but nothing worked. He lay there completely motionless and silent. Everyone in entire Ekachakra was in a great dilemma. Their life and soul was lying there lifeless. What to do? They could not understand what a just lotus cloud touching him, why he is like this. Then someone watching he said, I know what that problem is. Recently he was playing the Lila of Dasaratha and he also fainted and appeared like this when of his friend was playing Rama has left him, so we want to cure Lord Nityananda who is playing Lakshmana, then we have to call Hanuman to get the Gandhamadana mountain. So then one of the children put on the dress of Hanuman. He said, I am Hanuman, I will get the mountain. Then the children remember before we start playing this game, Lord Nityananda told us that if I fall unconscious, get that mountain and bring it here. But they forgot. Now they are remembered. So one of his friends playing Hanuman, he began running, and so many other friends playing Rakshasas. They were trying to stop him. He was defeating, smashing them all, and finally he came and he brought the mountain. Another friend played a physician, and he took the mountain and put it next to Nityananda's nose, and then Nityananda stood up, and everyone began to embrace him. In this way, he spent his childhood. Day and night he was completely immersed in the lila of the Lord. They asked him, how is it that you know perfectly all the lines of the Shastras? We have never taught you any of these things. Then he would reply that I have simply speaking what I have spoken in my previous incarnations, and everyone would just laugh because they did not believe him. So Nityananda lives Ekachakra. When he was 12 years old, one day a sannyasi came to the house of Adai Pandit. Adai Pandit, being a very gentle and pure-hearted devotee of the Lord, he offered a nice sitting place to the sannyasi. He offered him nice food. He offered a place to sleep at night, and he offered all of his services. Then in the next morning, just before the sannyasi was about to leave, Harai Pandit said, "Whatever I have is yours. Is there any way I can serve you?" And the sannyasi said, "Yes, it is." He said, "I am traveling alone and I will be most helpful to and alone and will be most helpful to me if I have very nice brahmana as a servant and associate. I would like to take your elder son Nityananda with me." When Harai Pandit heard this, he did not know what to do. He was like a sharp, flaming arrow, tears in his heart. He began to consider, "I have promised him to give him everything that I have. I cannot break my word, but at the same time, I cannot live without my son. He is everything to me." He began to think of how Dasaratha Maharaja, in order to preserve the principles of truth and respect those who are in renounced order, he gave his son Rama and Lakshmana away to Vishwamitra Muni. Even you know what difficult for him. So he was thinking that I must follow in the footsteps of these great souls, however painful may be. So he went to his wife Parnavati and said that what should I do? She and she being a very faithful and very loving wife, she said, "My dear husband, whatever you decide is what I decide." So with tears in his eyes, he went to the Brahmana and he said, "If you really want my son, then you can take now. Take now." Lord Nityananda, he wanted to be with him and preach the glories of the Lord, but he knew that his mother and father were so much attached to him, he could not break their hearts. When the sannyasi came, he accepted this divine arrangement and he left home. As soon as he left, Arai Pandit fell unconscious. He could not bear the separation. He was simply crying day and night. He was drowning in the ocean of grief. There was nothing in life that had any meaning or favor to him without the presence of Nitai. He remembered the day and where everywhere he went, he bring his son Nitai. When he got to go to the market, Nitai would be behind him and he would be looking around, making sure he was right, always with him, always worried for his welfare. Indeed, wherever he went, he could not bear a moment's separation from his loving son, and now his son going into the forest with the sannyasi, it was too much for him. Not to eat, he could not sleep, he could he could only well in a piteous voice with tears streaming from his eyes day and night, because he was always observing thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life was somehow or other being maintained without eat, without sleep, and at the last due to the affliction of an utterly broken heart, he left his body and went to the eternal abode of Vaikuntha. So Nityananda's travel across India. Meanwhile, it is described that Lord Nityananda began to travel all the holy places. First, he went to Gaya and he worshipped the beautiful form, footprints of Vishnu Garadhar. Then he went to Kashi to worship the Vishwanath Murti. Then he traveled to holy places of Mathura. There he bathed in Vishnu Ghatas and played in the water of beautiful water of Yamuna. He went to all the 12 forests of Vrindavan and he was so happy in the mood of our boy, identifying his previous incarnation of Balarama. He would simply play with children, herd with the cows, and enjoy the sweet atmosphere of the supreme abode of Braja. It is described that he was so absorbed in the happiness of being in the Vrindavan, he did not even ever consider eating or sleeping. When someone came of their own effort to offer him some little bit of milk, sometimes he would accept it. Then he continued his journey, his pilgrimage. He traveled very widely while he was in eastern India. He met the most exalted of all spiritual personalities. His name was Madhavendra Puri. When he approached Madhavendra Puri, who is considered by all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to be the very root of love of God. It is through Madhavendra Puri's love that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda received either directly or indirectly him. association. So when Lord Nityananda met with Madhavendra Puri, when they saw each other with their eyes, they were filled with love, they were stunned, they both offered their obeisances to one another and began to embrace. Madhavendra Puri had such love for Lord Nityananda, understanding that he was the supreme Godhead himself, he could not let him go from his loving embrace. As they embraced, tears flowed from their eyes, their hairs stand on him, and their limbs were shivering in transcendental ecstasy, and all the disciples of Madhavendra Puri were simply struck with wonder. So Nityananda spoke, he said that I have traveled throughout the holy places, but until today my heart desire are not fulfilled, because indeed wherever the pure servant of Krishna is, all the holy places reside with his feet. So Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri remained together for many days and many nights, and throughout the days and throughout the night they shared the pleasure of Krishna Katha. They discussed Krishna amongst each other. It is described that their happiness knew no bounds, because although both of them were wandering to holy places throughout the land, all, most all sannyasis, most all sadhus, most all so-called holy men did not understand the real essence of love of God, but in each other they saw the association of two devotees of Krishna. Madhavendra Puri felt such happiness. He described that never I have experienced such a love of God in pure association. Indeed, whatever Lord Nityananda may be, whatever his lotus feet is, anyone who is there in the center, he is the supreme embodiment of highest charity, the distribution of pure bhakti. Therefore, anyone who meets such a person is most fortunate among all men. After spending some days together, Lord Nityananda continued on his journey to the various places. He traveled to Setuganda, Rameswaram, Srirangam, Tirupati. Indeed, he went to all the holy places, and then he went to the north Ayodhya, Chitraketu, Prayag. He went to Badrika Ashram, and there he met with Srila Vyasadeva, and Srila Vyasadeva in his in with none other than his worshipable Lord Balarama and worship the devotees of Lord Nityananda. After traveling all the holy places, he returned to Vrindavan where he decided to stay, and he had a vision. He had a vision that his eternal brother Lord Sri Krishna was performing his divine Lila in Navadvip Dham in Bengal, but he was still acting like an ordinary little boy. He had not yet established his mission of the Sankirtan movement, so Lord Nityananda decided he would simply wait in Vrindavan until the signal came that the Lord had began the Sankirtan movement. So in a vision, after 20 years traveling to various holy places and living in Vrindavan, at that time he could understand within the core of his heart that Lord Chaitanya is now leading the devotees to the street with his arms raised, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With more, Lord Nityananda arrives in Navadvip. So he left Vrindavan, then he went to Navadvip. He did not announce his arrival to anyone, but he went to the home of Nandanacharya. The next morning, Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu approached his devotees and he said, Last night I had a wonderful dream. I saw an extraordinary chariot appear. It had the flag of palm tree, which is the chariot sign of Lord Balarama, and there was very large and beautiful personality on that chariot, and he was repeating over and over again, Where is the house of Nimai Pandit? He said, This extraordinary person, I could understand that last night he had arrived in Navadvip. He is none other than Balarama himself. We must go out and we find him. So the devotees headed by Sridas Thakur and Haridas Thakur, they went out and they went to every home and every marketplace and inquired, have you seen an exalted personality that had come? And after searching everywhere, they came back and they told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we cannot find such a person. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, I will personally lead the way. And at last they came to the house of Nandanacharya. From within the house, Lord Nityananda was seeing the People then like millions of names and years, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first met. They both stood stunned, unable to speak with his eyes, speak to one another to divine love. Indeed, Lord Nityananda at last fell down in ecstasy onto the ground, and Lord Chaitanya embraced him, and they embraced, embraced rivers of tears are flowing from their eyes. It was then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda began to dance and chant together in the holy kirtan of the name of Krishna, and it was that from that point that Lord Nityananda in the loving service of Sri Gaurasundara was to travel everywhere possible to deliver the holy name. So it is described that without gaining the mercy of the Lord Nityananda, one cannot properly approach the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The supreme yes, yes. No, no. It is our good fortune in this evening on this holy, the supreme auspicious of this day. It is our good fortune in this evening on this day, on his holy day, on his appearance that we can come together to pray for his causeless mercy, to understand our fallen condition in Kali Yuga, and to beg Lord Nityananda to be kind upon us. Lord Nityananda is manifesting himself to the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the representative of Lord Nityananda. The mercy of Lord Nityananda can easily be attained by worshipping him under the guidance of a bona fide guru. So let us take very seriously the Lord's supreme kindness, this most divine incarnation as we have seen in this wonderful play. Even though Lord Nityananda was ruled by hugely abused both verbally and physically by Jagai and Madai, his only motive was of compassion. He did not care that his head was brutally caught with the blow which fit to kill 10 men. He did not care that they blaspheming to him with so many insults. His only concern was that they were suffering due to sinful activities, and therefore, rather than anger, he responded with compassion. Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Suki. Anyone who understands the mercy of Nityananda becomes supremely happy in this world. So let us try to understand the nature of his mercy and how to receive his mercy. It is very simple. It is very simple. We simply accept the name of Krishna. We simply accept the chanting of the holy name, and we give up our simple activities. That is all that is required. That is the great opulence of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always present in four places. One of those places was whenever Lord Nityananda was dancing, his dancing was so graceful and so beautiful that anywhere and everywhere he would dance, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his physical body would manifest himself there to watch and to take part in the kirtan. Karuna Paudhi Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Baba Avatara Tara Shiroman Kevala Ananda Kanda. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have descended to teach us this. It is the simple process of chanting and dancing and feasting. So there is no greater way to receive the mercy of Lord Nityananda than to observe our mind, to observe our senses, to observe our body, everything in the kirtan of the holy name, to eagerly chant with great enthusiasm. So on this great occasion, we are giving this opportunity to glorify Lord Nityananda by theatrically and eagerly taking part in kirtan of the holy name. So now we will have the arati, and let us all pray the glories of the Lord Nityananda to our enthusiasm to chant, to dance for his pleasure. After arati, we will have the fortune testing and honoring the Shakti Prasada that has been offered to him on this auspicious night. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.